So now I'm going to show you how to complete this square. So the whole point of this is to go from general form, which looks like this, into vertex form, because when we have a quadratic in vertex form, we can determine lots of information about the graph. So when there's a 1 leading it, it's really easy to complete this square. So first step is to put brackets around the first two terms. And then with these two terms here, we want to form a perfect square trinomial. So we take the 6 and we divide it by 2, which is 3. And then we square the 3, which gives us 9. So this 9, we're going to add into this binomial in order to form a perfect square trinomial. So it'll look like x squared plus 6x plus 9. And whatever we add inside the brackets, we also have to subtract outside. So minus 9, and then we still have that plus 7 equals y. So what we've done is we formed a perfect square trinomial. So now the next step is to factor it. So we take the square root of the first term, which is x, square root of the last term, which is 3, and we notice that it's a plus sign, so it's a plus in here. And then we square this. So this is factored form of our perfect square trinomial. And then we still have minus 9 plus 7 equals y. And last step is just to combine these last two terms. So we'll have x plus 3 squared minus 2 equals y. So now we are in now we're in vertex form, so now we can determine lots about the quadratic. We know that the vertex is -3, -2. We know that it opens up because the a value is positive, and yeah, just a lot easier once it's in vertex form. So let's try another one. So this one here is different from the last in that we have this leading to. So when we complete this square, we always want to have just x squared. So steps are the same, so we put brackets around the first two terms. Now we're going to factor out the 2 only from the first two terms. I know it's tempting to take it out of the third, but just out of the first two. So it'll look like 2, and we'll put a set of square brackets. So we'll have x squared plus 6x. So that will be all together, and then this plus 10 we just leave alone. We don't deal with it until the end. So now if we were to ignore this 2, this middle part here would be the same as the last example. So we take the 6 divided by 2, which is 3, and 3 squared, which is 9. So again, we'll add that to make our perfect square trinomial. So it'll look like 2 x squared plus 6x plus 9. Whatever we add again, we subtract. And we still have this plus 10 by itself. Okay, from here we'll factor the trinomial. So 2 stays out again. So we'll have x plus 3 squared minus 9 is still there. And plus 10 is still on its own. And because we have this 2 out front, we need to distribute it inside the square bracket. So it'll go in front here as well as multiplied by this -9. So it'll look like 2x plus 3 squared minus 18 plus 10. And now finally you can bring in that plus 10. Now we'll just combine those terms. So 2x plus 3 squared minus 8 equals y. And now we notice that our vertex this time is -3, -8. Our a value is +2, and because it's a whole number, that means that this vertex is narrow. So those are a couple of examples on how we go from general form into vertex form with quadratics.